Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the live stream here today. We've got some coverage of Donald Trump's visit to Washington, D.C. The homicides are down 90%. The carjackings are down 42%. The general thievery is down 6,900%. This is great. This is a very prosperous time for D.C. with Donald Trump taking over. United States stops issuing visas for truck drivers. Yeah, I think we saw that one coming after that horrible situation with the Indian truck driver killing those three people. Very, very sad. Trump still has a conviction. They only took away the fine, not a total win. Oh, the Letitia James thing. You think the Commanders will get a new stadium by 2030? Yeah, by 2030, yeah, they'll get one by then. They need one really badly. Yeah, but Ben, if you have obviously there's going to be less crime if the fucking National Guard is there compared to what it was. Let's be honest. There's clearly less crime. But I mean, I thought liberals liked when crime happened as long as minorities did it. That's what they said. And now they're protesting because there's not enough crime. Make it make sense. Remember the Dems called Trump a racist for saying truck drivers on visas need to know how to read English? Well, all of them, whether they're on visas or not, you're right though, and I've been saying that. They all need to know how to read English for sure. That's what I've been saying. That was such a good forethought by Trump. What a precursor to what happened. And now here we are. They got to ban foreign truck drivers from entering, apparently. How long can the National Guard be there? They got to keep issuing extensions. I don't know. It's not a long-term solution. But they're trying to clean it up. I mean, I think it's more so a point that whatever they're doing in DC, the local government, which assuredly is extremely liberal, is not, shocker, is not the toughest people on crime. Which city should Trump send National Guard to next? Chicago. And I would say maybe Los Angeles, but you don't want to give Newsome that because that'd be another big thing with him. Let's say go to Chicago, maybe NYC. Yeah, any big city. Newsome signed his law. Yeah, but they got to get past a special election still. Memphis is in a bad spot. Need the National Guard in Cali. It's bad here. Cleveland. They're not going to do Cleveland though. No, nobody really talks about Cleveland. Yeah, you could do East Cleveland. Definitely would help. They're not going to do that though. Did you see in what's up, Juan? Did you see that in Venezuela they're saying going to do Vietnam style guerrilla tactics if the U.S. puts boots on the ground in their country? Yeah, I mean, listen, it seems like a mess of a situation, honestly, with Venezuela. I don't know what Trump is doing. You can't actually think deploying the National Guard to blue cities is appropriate or American. Well, I mean, I'm not sure liberals should define what an American is. Americanism is just, for liberals, is globalism. Anyone can be an American, so what's the point? But I don't know. I mean, the point is this is the issue with these major liberal cities, that because of how left they are, you're never going to get a conservative running them. So the only way to install some type of law and order is through the executive branch, because you're not going to be able to do it through voting a conservative in power in any of these local positions. They're just too liberal of areas. So they continue to have big crime issues. They'll probably need to go to NYC if they're going to elect a communist. Bad for normal people in New York. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It does seem like Mondani is... And that election is upcoming relatively soon, November. So it seems like they might be going with Mondani. I think it'll turn the city more right-wing and the state more right-wing. I don't know how much, though. I don't know by how much.
For showing up for yourselves.
Is this from 2020? They're still doing the BLM stuff?
Let me do a quick photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need an election for it, though. One of the teams was released from juvenile custody to their home, and the other to a youth shelter. Yeah, none of these black teens ever go to prison. Newsome needs a better haircut. Liberals would disagree with you. They love Newsome. They love Newsome's appearance. That California senator talking about the 1.5 million reminds me of the 3/5 compromise, asking for slaves to count as votes. Well, think about the situation now. You can really liken it to, I mean, all these illegals, they're like, well, who's going to do all the shitty jobs if you deport the illegals? Very similar argument was made about, slavery being abolished. Who's all going to do those jobs if the slaves aren't going to do them? It is very similar, in the context of grunt work, and they're making the exact same argument that they made back 200 years ago. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Give Big Balls a $1 million raise.
Unsafe. We couldn't do it. We'd go out and you'd see the stories, you'd read the stories, you'd see all of the things that are happening. And they said we couldn't stand it, sir. And now I take my wife and my kids to dinner. One of them said he's gone out 4 nights in a row.
Far-left politicians are trying to take support from right-wing base over Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, I got this text-to-speech. I'm going to have to change that voice, though. I don't like that voice. That's a tough voice. Far-left politicians are trying to take support from left. Yeah. Yeah, I added a few sound effects. Well, the far left and the far right both hate Israel. Can you put Trump as the voice? Honestly, you probably could if you got it well. You probably could do something similar. Yeah, I like TDS as well, so I don't have to read it. And also, it's like, when I read it, it can be other people might not be able to fully coherently grasp it, so it's better to do it like that. You know what it is? It's $2 and above. You sent me $1.99. That's why. That's why it didn't show up. It's $2 and above. Well, I thought that was the donation. I guess you can send donations at $1.99. I'll have to change it to $1.99. So if it's $2 above, it'll read it. If it's $1.99, it won't read it. Make it an Irish accent. Well, there was a bunch of different ones to choose from. Half of them were like Chinese. There was a Arab, a few different Arab, man and a woman Arab accents. There was a Mexican accent.
Is the Putin at the Alaska meeting a fake?
Dude, this thing can't even fucking properly pronounce stuff. It couldn't pronounce Putin. Hold on, we got another one.
You win. Lol.
It did a good job on that one. It did a good job. You think it's a fake? I don't know. I'd have to see the updated stuff on that. A fake in what sense? Like the war is going to continue? Fake by Putin, you're saying? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard some discouraging news on that Zelensky and Putin were not going to be meeting. So I don't know.
Mark my words, in the coming years you will see a united front with far right and far left.
No, well, I don't know, man. You know, it is like the fascism, communism argument, the magnet argument, you know, where they're two very close. So the far right and the far left do share the commonality about hating Israel, that's for sure, but for different reasons. And then they've got so many other different beliefs, it's hard to say that they could actually coalesce together. Not on Israel's side, but at least Trump, he's pushed back on what they're doing. Yeah, dude, honestly, I'll be honest, he really has not pushed back on what Israel's doing. He's like the final supporter. I mean, the other Western countries want to recognize Palestine as a state. Trump won't even do it. Because I was agreeing with you originally on that. It seemed like...
Give Donald John Trump 4 more years. Trump 2028. God bless America. I support God's people.
You know what? I also got to add so it reads off your guys' name. I got to add it to where it reads off your guys' name. Because I know you can do that. Did you see Tim Pool have the panel on feminism? He should have invited you on. I didn't see that one. I saw the one with Alex Stein and Myron Gaines and the feminist chick and then another comedian. That's the one I saw. And it was really awkward. But then that whole thing, I don't know if you saw that. Half of it was just them answering like stupid questions from the crowd. It felt like just like the crowd had paid to ask questions or something. Like half the entire debate they were having was just answering dumb questions. It's like, okay, I can understand taking a few questions, but if half of the fucking show is taking questions from the crowd, and then these people try and be, you know, they want their name out there, so they have to make a spectacle of the question. Why did Rubio do that? What are you talking about? It was an active mass shooting situation. Was a cruel hoax. There was no suspect. It's terrible. Well, I mean, I guess it's good that it wasn't real, but...
And I think you brought some food for him, didn't you, President?
So we have great hamburgers cooked by the White House, and we have pizza that I said, don't do it in the White House because we went to a place that makes the best pizza. So we'll concede. But we have a lot of it, so we're going to have some fun. We'll eat, and I'll eat with you, and we're going to have a little fun. We're going to celebrate, but then we're going to get back to work, and we're going to take care of these criminals. We're going to put them where they have to be. We're going to, You're going to say, don't play around with us. Don't play around with us. So let's go have something to eat. You're going to like the hamburgers? Would you rather have hamburgers from the White House or pizzas from a good place, huh? I think you want, they want the hamburgers. Have a good time, everybody. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Trump ordered he got a McDonald's. Trump ordered them 40 Big Macs. The dinner box. You're voting for a bunch of CIA and Israeli spy implementing Palantirs. It's not going to rate it if it's $1.99. Trump's meat and pizza is definitely the best. That's an interesting donation. You got to do $2. You want the guy to rate it. It's a spectacle, dude. You know, Palantir is a small. It's a small. If you talk to anyone that knows AI and systems, and Palantir is a guppy in the AI world. So you have to understand that. And they slap Palantir on everything. It's all fear-mongering tactics. They slap Peter Thiel on everything. You know, it's all fear-mongering, man.
Very careful. You don't want to slip or fall like somebody else. So where are we going, Marco? Over here?
For years, sir.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and gals doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it. The numbers are down like we wouldn't believe, but we believe it. Very careful. You don't want to slip.
Judge Janina's here. She's unbelievable. We have Leo 2.0. Whoa. Judge, I didn't see you over there. It's lucky I spotted her. It's lucky I spotted her. I would have been in big trouble. And Leo, Leo 2.0, we love Leo. He's a great prosecutor, that's for sure. You know, they both started off really as law enforcement and top lawyers and judges and law enforcement, and that's how they became famous. Then they went.
So Trump, this is what Rubio did, issuing all worker visas for commercial trucking. So if you're on a visa, you're not getting a trucking license. That's how it should have been anyways. They really got to up the requirements in terms of being able to speak properly. I think that's what that accident showed, and it went viral, and people realize. Trump is 79, fat, and don't care. Yeah, Trump's lost some weight. They said he lost like 20 or 30 pounds. Trump's lost like 50 pounds without Ozempic. I'm glad I don't have to read these.
United States will one day get rid of Israel, but not under Trump. Trump is way too pro-Israel, and that's downside, but man, at least he's a good president.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why when that comment came in, I had to correct and say, no, he's very pro-Israel. He's a boomer, man. He's extremely pro-Israel. Look at all the other Western liberal leaders. They're ready to recognize Palestine. $55 million on visas. How about that? There's 350 million people in the country. 55 million are on visas. What? 1/7 of the population is on visas. The Boomer Final Boss. It's a great nickname for him. The Boomer Final Boss. You can't get rid of him. You cannot get rid of him. Bro's 79. Bro is the #1 story at 79. Yeah, but Western leaders want to recognize Palestine to appease the Muslim vote more than anything. Yeah, but still, I mean, imagine that happening in the United States, considering the Israeli control. It just seems unthinkable in the U.S. But it happens in these other first world countries. Why can't they use this to go after and penalize sanctuary cities? Well, sanctuary cities shouldn't exist. It doesn't make sense. Sanctuary cities are like, what's the purpose of having a border if sanctuary cities exist? It's just ridiculous.
You better thank a union's member.
You better
Rolling
thank
on
a
the floor
union member.
laughing emoji.
Oh, they got a set sound. I need to edit that to make them not read out the emojis. It's gonna be very bad if people put in a lot of emojis, but I'll edit that out. You better thank a union member. You better thank a union member. How's the weather? Oh, the weather is better. The weather is a lot better nowadays. It's gonna be colder. It's gonna be nice and cold. Yeah, I upgraded this dude. This is like this dude sounds like a 35-year-old white guy from like a New York suburb.
Biden could never walk the beat because he couldn't walk. And Kamala never did it because she was afraid of her prosecutor's shadow. I love that Trump's going out there like a general to inspect the troops. Sometimes I go walking through my pod to see my team booking and cutting tape, and I shake their hands and I introduce myself, and they're inspired. I'm inspired. I'm with Greg. This is the best episode of Cops we're ever going to see. I hope he does a field sobriety test on some sloppy drunk kid from Georgetown. I hope they arrest and they pull drugs.
You ask what percentage of your audience are YouTube Premium subscribers? I would say very low percent would be YouTube, for anyone, is YouTube Premium subscribe. Because you have to go out of your way to subscribe to that. Anytime there's like a payment subscription, or you can have the free version, people always pick the free. So it'd be very small. I don't know the exact amount, but based on my revenue, I would say probably like, I don't even, 2% maybe? 1%? I guess it depends. Of the total subscribers, it's probably like less than 1%. Yeah, I can't watch it without premium either. We talk about this like once a week, maybe once a month. Premium is necessary if you watch YouTube for any significant amount of time. It's $15. I'm not even shilling it. I think I make it either way, because they give you a cut for premium. And then if you don't have the premium, you get the ads anyway. So I would say get premium if you watch YouTube a lot. The ads are just miserable. I don't deal with ads at all. And I thought they would just give me premium for free if I had like 300,000 subscribers, but that's not how it works. I thought when you hit 100K, they would give you a lifetime subscription for premium. That would be something that would be actually pretty cool if they implemented that. Yeah, but you can't use Brave when you're on mobile. You're on your phone. You're on your. I'm watching YouTube on my iPad or on my iPhone, so I need to go to the app. You need to go to the client. You don't use browsers when you're on when you're on mobile. But I barely watch it on desktop. $15 is worth it. You refuse to watch ads. Dude, you know when you go to Rumble, sometimes they have like 4 ads on Rumble. Same thing with Twitch. I haven't watched Twitch in like 7 years. But Rumble, the ads on Rumble are, maybe they got better, but when I saw them, they were pretty bad. And there's like a Rumble Premium, but I'm not getting that. I barely watch Rumble as it is. Trump wins Supreme Court ruling 5-4. That's a rare ruling. Normally it's 6-3. Green lights Trump ending DEI gender. I don't even know what all this like how much DEI shit is infested into the country. Thoughts on Zoran? Probably gonna win. Probably gonna win unless the other two drop out and it's just Cuomo against Mondani. Then I could see Cuomo maybe winning, but it's not looking likely, honestly. They suspended the teacher. She's got to be fired. I mean, if that's true, what happened there, that's a terrible thing. That there's no place in school for that type of manipulation and political manipulation of like 7-year-olds. That story is horrible. Telling a kid he's a dictator because he's conservative. I mean, how old is he? I mean, it's like that shows that you don't really have an understanding of how to teach children, and there's no way partisan politics should enter the picture when you're teaching young kids like that. You got to be fired for that. That's got to be gone. Why not use ad blocker? You can't use ad blocker on mobile. If you go on mobile app, you can't use an ad blocker on a mobile app. Yeah, doesn't the premium have features like it'll play the video while you're completely off of the you're completely on another app? Sometimes that I do that. Cracker Barrel, just terrible. You hate to see it. It's another one. There's like 13 different, or probably like 20 different logos that have gone this route. The logos have gotten worse. I wonder if there's any like tweets that show all the logos changing. You guys know that? When they have like a compilation of all the different logos, what they used to be. I'd like to see something like that. One of your professors worked for the Obama administration during class. He'd shill his book all the time. Yeah, so what? He worked. Dude, those people are obsessed with books. They all do a book. If they work for an administration or they're somehow involved, the book comes out. Kamala Harris did a book. People within the administration. How about the press secretary doing a book trying to become independent? Karine Jean-Pierre, who was dating like Peter Doocy. I mean, it's... Pro sports teams should bring back 90s uniforms and logos. Well, what they should do is at least like the early 2010s, I think, had the best uniform combos. So maybe late 2000s, late, like 2007, 2008. Yeah, the uniforms were better. I don't know. They get worse. It's like, it's interesting that they get worse. You'd think that we'd be able to innovate and it would get better, but that doesn't happen. The uniforms constantly get worse. The Browns have gotten way worse. I wish the Browns would go back to their 2012, 2013 uniforms. They had good uniforms, but they've gotten so bad. And then they tried fixing them, and it really didn't work.
This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Radical rigging of a...
It's not going to rate it. Remember Aunt Jemima syrup and Uncle Ben's rice? Yeah, they said it was a racist caricature, and black people were even against that. That's similar to the Redskins and Indian stuff when they change it. But look at Newsome crying here.
An election. Destroying,
Newsome is legitimately teary-eyed.
vandalizing this democracy, the rule of law. So I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now,
Please don't
with all
rig
due
it
respect,
against us.
we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting
Stop
fire
rigging it
with
against
fire.
us.
I'm going to punch these in the mouth. This is radical rigging of a midterm election.
He just said, I'm going to punch these fuckers in the mouth. It's not necessary. That's not language that's necessary. You can't say, if as a politician, you say, I'm going to punch these fuckers in the mouth. Come on. And he thinks that's cool now. That's just that's some unfortunate language. That's some unfortunate language. Do you think Republicans will show up in the midterms, or will they not show and give the Dems an easy win? Well, they'll definitely win the Senate. Or it'd be very bad if they didn't win the Senate. But it just comes down to the House. Yeah, I don't know if they'll show up, honestly. It's going to take a big infrastructure build-up from... because it's tough with the midterms, the low-propensity people. They got a lot of them, so it's a challenge. So they kind of come in with a built-in disadvantage versus the liberals. Yeah, we got real watery eyes. I'm going to punch these motherfuckers in the mouth. I don't know what if he actually said that. He put in eye drops? Yeah, probably. What are the chances the Commanders change their name back to the Redskins? I'd say extremely low. Even with Trump doing the stunt about trying to withhold their funding for a new stadium, I think they're going to have to... I think they're going to keep it as Commanders. It's a bad name. It's really not a good name, but it is what it is. Max couple. Democrats struggling voter registration. DeSantis administration just painted over, removed LGBT pride crosswalk. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's you can't have sexuality on state-owned land.
Hi everyone, this is State Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith. I am outside the Pulse nightclub interim memorial, and we've just discovered that the Florida Department of Transportation, in the middle of the night, ripped the rainbow colors off of this city crosswalk. They illegally vandalized city property without providing the city of Orlando notice or getting their approval to remove this rainbow crosswalk that was painted here.
That's state ownership. That's state land.
Not only to remember the lives of the 49 mostly LGBTQ people of color who were murdered here, but also to keep the pedestrians and visitors safe who have come here year after year to pay their respects to those lives who were taken here. I cannot believe that the DeSantis administration...
Yeah, and then trying to guilt trip people and say, well, there are a bunch of people murdered, so that's why DeSantis is bad. That's horrible. You can't be doing that. And now they're trying to remake it with... Imagine just get a hose. Just get a hose, it'll come right off. That's chalk. They vandalize city property. Yeah, I mean, you can't have sexual statements on like that. I mean, that's not necessary in the city. When I went to San Francisco, the amount of gay pride flags is It was insane. On federal buildings, on state buildings. But this was 10 years ago. You think the 2028 Dem ticket could be Newsome Jeffries? Hakeem? I don't think I haven't heard a ton about Hakeem Jeffries being the VP. I guess it's possible. Which person in Trump's cabinet will luckily be the scapegoat of this administration after it ends? What is scapegoat in what context? Normally, scapegoat is they get blamed for everything. So it's really not a thing to be lucky about. Florida rain took care of it. It does thunderstorm a lot in Florida, especially in the summer, randomly. Yeah, that's the key thing. It's going to need a special election for this Newsome stuff to take effect. The 5-seat gain for the libs. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Dude, you know Trump is like, look how badass I look at this. Yeah, Trump's got to be in the middle. Are there any issues you agree with liberals on? Just curious. I have a few. Yeah, renewable energy. The Trump administration now reviewing all 55 million people in the country with U.S. visas for potential deportations. I mean, that's like all-encompassing. There's a lot of different visas, but it's still insane. What were you doing when 9/11? I was too young, man. Have the tariffs helped anything noticeable? Well, it's not the point of the tariffs. It's a very long-term strategy, but certainly.
So we're now sending Marines offshore of Venezuela per defense index. I think we might see Venezuela be the next event. That and they'll need to keep a leash on those Marines around the Latinas.
Yeah, that's that last part, I guess. That's true, but no, I do think the Venezuela will probably be the next event. I got to do some reading up on that. But this goes back to Trump's first term, and yeah, it seems like they're going to be doing some stuff in Venezuela. I mean, there's a fuck ton of oil in Venezuela, and so what is it, like a fourth of the world's oil? Yeah, thank you for the $15. I'm gonna change it to where it reads off the names as well. It's gonna read off the names, but I think I have to calibrate it properly.
If you go back 50, 60 years, what is the fastest period for blue-collar wages rising in the United States of America? It is the time that we are living in right now, thanks to the economic policies of Donald J. Trump. You know what the worst thing for people at the bottom of the income ladder is? It's when you flood the country with millions upon millions of illegal aliens and force our poor Americans to compete for jobs against low-wage foreigners who don't even have the legal right to be here. That is what destroys the wages and the livelihoods of people who are struggling in this country. We want to empower them to live the American dream. That's why we're protecting their jobs, lowering their taxes, and fighting to make their country safe again. If you go back...
Vance giving an impassioned speech.
Been watching your live streams so much YouTube has started recommending me your storytime videos. You should bring those back.
Yeah, I want to do some different content. I really do. I just have to be in the right state for it. Yeah, but you'll get that from YouTube. YouTube will start recommending, if you start watching people a lot, they'll start recommending old videos of that creator. Yeah, because that was happening to me as well. They'll start recommending old videos. Yeah, those storytime videos, those... Dude, I've got like I got a really bad one. A real bad one. It's a pathetic one. But I haven't said anything about that.
A couple of responses to that criticism. First of all, the only people that we say should not get free government health care benefits are illegal aliens and those who refuse to try to even look for a job. It's very common sense. We want, and look, we are going to bankrupt this country if we keep on giving the people's benefits, the people's Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security benefits to illegal aliens who have no legal right to be in this country and never paid into the system to begin with. That is never the design of those programs, is to give them to every person all over the world. They ought by right to belong to the American citizens who paid into those programs to begin with. And that's what we're fighting to make sure happens. And
Vance does not come off as Trump level authentic in these videos. He's a problem for 2028. I mean, it's going to be hard to replicate the Trump magic, let's be honest. But Vance is probably going to attract a different voter base than Trump did. At least slightly different, I would say. But yeah, it looks like they're going with Vance for 2028. It's really early though. But I mean, we'll see how it develops. But now they're trying to give Vance all these speeches. Vance is okay. He's not like Trump and can't keep MAGA together. We'll have to see if Trump truly goes with him and endorses him for 28, because you know Trump's hands are going to be all over whoever is the pick. He's going to basically make the pick. Trump is. He's still in control of the party. And he was a never-Trumper, but now he's... Yeah, him being a never-Trumper is... It makes him disingenuous, I will say that. But you also have to understand, this is politics. I mean, but I think being a never-Trump Republican, that's like the lowest of the low. Because if you're a liberal, you hate Trump, I get it, right? Because it's different ideology, and you think he's a terrible person and all this. But a never-Trump Republican is brutal. That's basically saying, like, I want the neocon world order back. But, I mean, he's grown, And now he supports Trump, obviously. More than anyone. Do you think America needs a dictator-like figure? Yeah, if they agreed with all my politics, I'd love to see a dictator come in. But, I mean, like, a dictator... It could be good if they are conservative and they want to preserve the country in a certain way, or it could be really bad if they're more liberal. But I think, I mean, I don't see how that's possible anytime soon. Red Eagle Politics says the logos. Dude, that Indians logo was so nice. Yeah, the Nissan. So like you compare this, the old Cracker Barrel. This is just a bad logo in general, let alone the rebrand. But obviously that's worse. This Commander's logo is so weak, so weak. They could have made something a little bit better for the Commanders. The Redskins, well, they said that was racist. The Jaguar rebrand, probably one of the worst rebrands that's ever been done. the Somalian, the Minnesota state flag. Remember Tim Walz doing this? Yeah, it looks like Somalia, looks like a third world country. Going from a nice seal to whatever the hell that is. The Pepsi, yeah, the old Pepsi was better. The old Rams logo was definitely better. This new Rams logo doesn't look like an NFL team. It looks like one of those arena football teams. You got the butter. Yeah, the old butter was better. Blockbuster to Netflix. Well, those are two different. The Indians to Guardians. The Democratic Party. Huh. The Warriors. No, I think the new Warriors logo is pretty cool, honestly. With the Golden Gate. The new Warriors logo is cool. I'll give them credit for that. The old Warriors logo it's fine, but I think the new world, this is where the simplistic nature of it, I think it's better. I think it's an upgrade. Pepsi logo got better. Now, I like the old one better. I like the font of it better. I don't like the really skinny font with lowercase. I think that looks bad for a logo. New Jaguar logo is gayer than their commercial. I have no clue, man. Why would you change the logo? Like that looks like a sports car logo. The new one is, what can you even say about it? It's just a different font, more spaced out. Looks like, there's nothing. You could just type the word Jaguar. There's the logo. Space it out a little bit. Pepsi, Nissan don't have bad. Yeah, but the old Nissan logo is better. New Warriors logo is because of Steph Curry. I don't know when they got that logo. I think they did get it right around like 2014, maybe. Or I think it might have been a little bit earlier than that. They might have had another logo in between that logo and the newer one. Feels like the Democrats are going to have a Trump-like candidate in 2028, a celebrity outsider that does well in the polls. Yeah, it would be... You'd be looking at like Cuban or Stephen A. or Jon Stewart, basically one of those three. Or it could be somebody that we don't know about, really. You're right, but someone outside. I think they want that. It seems like they want that, and they're kind of just... Because right now, who is even... It's way too early. Once we get done with the midterms, I'll grant you, yes, you can start just really discussing it, but, you talk about Newsome, we might not even know who the actual candidate is right now. Because of how early it is. They might not have even come into the spotlight yet for the Democrats. Thoughts on Russia as a country and its conservative culture? Well, there's certainly more. We're starting to see the right in America. This has been happening for a little while now. Because of its conservative culture, the right is shifting more to a more moderate Russia stance and kind of anti-Europe because of how liberal Europe is. But Russia, I think, not that they're a paper tiger totally, they've got a ridiculous amount of resources. They are, in terms of GDP, I think they have a smaller total economy than Canada. And they do have a lot of nukes, but I also think the nuke stuff is kind of overrated to a degree. They say, well, Russia has the most nukes out of anyone. Well, what is the context of the technology that, a lot of their nukes could be very small. Nukes don't have to be tested anymore because we know they work. You don't really have to test them. So I don't really buy that they have a superior nukes to us. But Russia's in an interesting spot. They just lost, well, not just, but relative to history, 1991, they lost a bunch of land. They lost the Soviet Union. So they're in an interesting spot compared to where we are. It's like a polar opposite almost. Like, imagine we lost land. I don't think the Discord link doesn't show up there with the command. I don't think you can add commands on here. Ever thought about doing some videos on true crime? Not really, honestly. Women love that shit, though, true crime. Do you think Trump will visit Moscow? I mean, if a peace deal got done, I don't see why he wouldn't visit Moscow. I think there'd be a lot more of a stable relationship, but visiting Moscow, I think, would require a peace deal. Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro will make a video about Cracker Barrel. Yeah, because it's all the culture war stuff with them. But yeah, those logos, it's unfortunate what happened to all those logos. This is the Idaho murderer who murdered those 4 college students, begging to be transferred.
Do you think Trump will try to have the peace deal signed in Washington? I would think a Treaty of Washington would be a big PR win for him.
Yeah, I think Trump just wants it done anywhere, but yeah, if you ideally it would be very positive if it was done in DC for sure. If he got both of them in DC and they signed it in DC, optics would be amazing. I mean, it'll be good no matter what if he can get it done. Yeah, they got this video of him just walking around. They were showing this video on Reddit. Trump could run for a House seat and get elected House Speaker if JD Vance wins and elected, and him and his vice president can. Yeah, but that doesn't. That seems a bit ridiculous. That seems like you're usurping the. But also, I'm not even sure if he'd be eligible because he's already served 2 terms. If he would be eligible for House Speaker, I'm not sure he would be eligible. What kind of prison is that? That's a massive cell. Well, he'd be in. I think that was a holding cell. I believe that was that cell. It wasn't his actual maximum security cell. This was the hoax situation, Villanova. Yeah, I saw this. This is like, I'm not going to sit through this entire thing and watch this. Some freaking lady getting arrested saying she's an attorney general or something. Foreign investors gobbling up 9 oceanfront lots. Yeah, I don't know why the foreigners are able to buy land, and it doesn't make any sense. Did you see the Kanye West coin? Yeah, it's just the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever. But it's like it usurps Trump's for how bad it is and how bundled it was. You know, they said 94% of the supply was bundled with insiders, and they've got a vesting schedule. Only 13% of the supply is circulated. Apparently, 87% is still not circulated. That coin, Kanye West launched a coin, and it's just a money extraction. That's all it is. Did you see the video of the pizza guy used his bait getting beat up by the angry Yeah, I saw that video. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, that... But then I guess there was more to the story. But man, what a bad situation. That's apartment life, I guess, man. Guess it depends who your neighbors are. Should be illegal for foreigners to own land. Yeah, I agree with that, for sure. A piece of the wing blew off? Like bent in half. It came apart and then it was flapping in the wind. They remodeled all of their restaurants.
And he hated it, and I want to join in on the hate. If the Cracker Barrel don't look like the Jim Crow South, I can't eat there. You got to have the racism aesthetic. You got to have the rocking chairs and the hint of segregation in the air. If I don't feel like I'm on the set of Sinners, then how do I know I'm in a Cracker Barrel? This is a gentrified Cracker Barrel. They done took all the character out of it, and I know the edges of the pancake ain't burnt. I gotta feel like somebody wants to say, "Good morning, boy," when I go in, with respect. And no respect at all. I feel like they want me to work there, but they don't want to pay me ever, and I've got to live there. That's Cracker Barrel's thing. If you take that away, what is?
Yeah, unironically. Yeah, he's rage baiting for sure. I'm in your chat all the time. I'm a Delta 737 pilot. Half the time I'm watching you. I'm flying. Huh. You're flying. Well, they must have good Wi-Fi on planes. You watch streams. I know pilots. You guys have a lot of downtime. If you are a pilot, I know you have lots of downtime when you fly, because the co-pilot flies most of it. It's a logo. You have gone full snowflake on a logo. Well, it's not. It's just sad to see the decline. And it's not even just the Cracker Barrel logo. I've been seeing this happen with all the logos. It's not even a political thing. I'm just sad that they're getting worse. Why are all the logos getting worse? It's like, well, it's because we have to make things more simplistic so people know the brand. But it's bullshit. It just looks worse. Plane flies itself. Yeah, that's why they build planes. That's the thing people talk about, those hijackers. I mean, they build planes so they can fly. They're not. I could fly a plane within a day, probably. They build. They want you to be able to fly the plane. They don't make the plane hard to fly. You can fly a plane. Now, you might not be able to land it. Yeah, I don't know if these people are saying they're pilots. Come on.
The deception, the lies, the starved children, the pictures of starved children who turn out to have cerebral palsy or other congenital diseases that leave them emaciated. And Israel is, of course, accused of starving children, pretty much the way that in the Middle Ages Jews were accused of killing Christian children for their blood. So, what do you do against the lie that circles the earth 10 times before the truth has a chance to emerge? You have to shorten the war as speedily as possible. And frankly, we also have to do something about the algorithms and the social networks. This is a big challenge. You have a business right now?
Mm-hmm.
Are you regulated?
Yes.
You are? Why are you regulated? You're regulated? By what?
Yeah, so he's calling for internet censorship. Netanyahu is, that's going to go over great. You think the country will ever be truly united regardless of party lines like everyone was the first 3 months after 9/11? Yeah, I don't think so. I think social media is kind of the hidden component that keeps that from happening. Maybe people will be at some point united against Israel. For the most part, that may happen in the future. But as a general sense, like the country together fully on pretty much all topics, or I mean, there would have to be another, major event where the country would come together, I think. But again, we didn't really have social media in 2001, so the fact that you have social media, to me, it changes the game. It makes the chances of that less. Does Macron win versus Candace in court? Well, I don't know. I know it's very hard to sue a public figure for defamation. I know that. I don't know what the damages would be. So, to me, it's more they just want her to stop talking about it. I'm not sure how they would win against her. Especially from a different country. You couldn't land in minimal weather conditions, 200 feet ceilings, 1/4 mile visibility. I don't know. I've played some flight simulator games. I think I could probably land. Give me in a flight simulator or something. I'm just kidding. No, 100% it's because of October 7th. Well, that's why they're trying to get rid of all the Palestinians. They're using October 7th. But also, all of this dialogue is about October 7th. It's made Israel extremely unpopular. Matthew Shepard case is a good one. Example of a case politicized to push legislation, and more people need to know the true facts. Yeah, I know. I think I've heard of the name, but I don't remember the case. Pepe, what's up, man? You got some personal attackers? You do or me? You think you could recreate all 9/11 impact flight simulator? There was a recreation. It's I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but I haven't been able to find it recently, that recreation. Because I think it was on YouTube and then it was taken down. It might be back up. But the POVs were on YouTube. I don't know if they're still on YouTube, though. Of the planes. But you couldn't recreate that stuff in the flight simulator if they don't allow it. I don't even think they have the Twin Towers skyline. Or maybe they do, but like... Police officer fatally shoots dog. I used to play Flight Simulator a little bit on my Xbox One. I haven't played it in forever, though. When I had the Game Pass.
Very careful. You don't want to slip or fall like somebody else I know. So where are we going, Marco? Over here?
Over here, sir.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and gals doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it. The numbers are down like we wouldn't believe.
Yeah, this is what this... So these two neighbors are having a feud, and then the pizza guy comes. The neighbor doesn't come out fast enough. The black lady comes out, the other neighbor, and it's.
Why are you taking a picture of me?
Smoke alarm?
You don't like me taking pictures of me?
Well, why would you?
Because I want to. You stand in front of my door, so.
I'm standing in front of his door.
Oh, so not. Why are you looking at me?
I'm waiting, man. What the fuck, bro? You dumb?
No.
He's coming.
Oh, so then why are you looking at me?
Oh, well, come on, man.
Come inside. Step inside.
She knocked the pizza down, bro.
Step inside. Come on. Step inside.
I ain't hit no bell, man.
Step inside, man. I'm scared. She knocked the pizza down. Step inside.
It's not fake. The woman got arrested. She was feuding with the neighbor. Yeah, Pepe, I don't know who that dude is. I'm not seeing him on this I'm not seeing him on this the chat. Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. The chat. Well, that's nice. They're helping this woman down. Michigan had 40,000 Muslims protesting, saying they were going to take over America. Look it up. Muslims believe. Yeah, well, Michigan, and there's areas in Michigan that are very Muslim. Dearborn. It's insane. Look at Minnesota as well. Look at Minneapolis, the surrounding suburbs. Fan art. Trump cutting almost $1 billion in DEI funding. This is art from the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery commemorating the act of illegals crossing. What? Why would they? Seems like a very weird piece of art. So illegal immigrants going across the border via a ladder is some great level of artwork. Yeah, and then they've got a white... I mean, the woman looks white as well. The father and son look more Mexican. I don't know. Apparently, that's a painting that no wonder Trump wants to get rid of that with the Smithsonian. Just a terrible false equivalency. Trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain. Spanish white. It's hard to tell. It's hard to completely depict from a painting. What brand would you want to return to its original branding? I mean, I want most of them. I want the Commanders mainly to go back to the Redskins. I want the Jaguar logo, but I mean, it's not like I own a Jaguar, but I mean, imagine that new Jaguar logo on one of their sports cars. Those things cost like fucking $500,000. You completely understand the Gavin Newsom push. You think America needs to hit rock bottom and then revolution. We're just slowly dying right now. Yeah, I know, but what does a revolution even look like in this country? I mean, look at our demographics. I know most of the people in position of power or people in better positions, you could say are more white, but what does that look like exactly? Does it really look like a split between fractions? Because a revolution, I mean, is it a new constitution? I mean, swimming graduation.
People can swim. Black people can swim. Black people can swim. Black people can
swim. It's like an SNL skit. It's like an SNL skit. I thought it was fake at first. Black people can swim. I thought it was fake. Can you define what it means to be woke? It's suicidal empathy for minorities is the way I describe it. And also rewriting history, changing history to try and manipulate our current laws. That's a lot of it. But it is suicidal empathy. That's what wokeness is. I take back what I said. This is the definition of wokeness.
Yeah.
Virginia qabooba lagu dhalay laakiinse waan adopt gareynay siidarna wax badan ma joogina.
Toxic empathy. That's another one. I'll be right back. Chat is dropping. It's because I left. You have to retain the viewership. 20th Amendment, you have to be born here to run for office. Yeah, I think that's... Liberals wouldn't agree to that, though. For any office, you know, not just president. That certainly was not a goon sesh, no. Did you see Disney basically admitted that they chased off all the male audience for Marvel and Star Wars? They're desperately trying to get them back. Yeah. Well, I mean, how many Star Wars movies can you do at this point? It's just, people think it's just a money grab. The only superhero movies I would watch would be Batman movies and Spider-Man. Same thing happened with superhero movies. Who the hell wants to watch a character they don't even know, like Ironheart? Yeah, then they got all these women characters now. They're forcing it. I saw one of the characters and I was like, what is this? I had to tweet it out. So I'm not, it's like this bird woman. I think the character is Bird Woman.
secured the border. He's working to deport illegals. He's working on peace agreements internationally. He's focused on cleaning up Washington, D.C., things that actually matter. What is Governor of California doing to help the people in Southern California rebuild? They're still on their backs. They haven't rebuilt Southern California after those fires. Wasn't he the guy that was supposed to end homelessness? Didn't he have a plan like 10 years ago he's going to do? And it's obviously been a total disaster. So he's ignoring the problems in his own state in favor of posturing on social media and trying to take cheap shots at the president. He thinks that's going to ingratiate him with some of the far left voters. Maybe it will. But it's certainly not advancing the ball for the people that he's supposed to lead and represent.
Well, he's campaigning. He's campaigning for the 2028 primaries already. It's pathetic. It's a complete abandonment to California. He's got a podcast. Yeah, he's got a. I don't think he's done many episodes on the. But even the podcast, that's another thing. That just shows you the desperation of this guy to do a podcast, and he has Charlie Kirk on his podcast, and I think Steve Bannon went on, and then he kind of just ended it. You're playing 2K. What are they on 2K26? 2K26. The last 2K I had, I think, was 2K13. Maybe 2K14. Had a good job with Clyde yesterday. Yeah, that's I know you probably like that. Will Ron run in 2028? Probably not. I know DeSantis he's gotten back into Trump's good graces, but you're really going to be going up against the same thing you were in 2024. You're going up against the MAGA base. Now, maybe the MAGA base gets split a little bit more because it's not Trump, but Trump will probably endorse Vance. So then it's Groundhog Day. It's the same thing. And he got crushed in 24, so would he really do much better in 28? I don't think so. I don't think it makes a ton of sense for DeSantis to run in 28 unless something happens with Vance or Vance would have to say, I don't want to run. "2028 Republican has to be authentic MAGA. Trump won't endorse anyone." I mean, if Trump doesn't endorse anyone, I think it'd still be Vance or Rubio, probably. Because that's what Trump had already hinted at, Vance being the president with Rubio as VP. Plus, I think Trump wants to have the power to be able to pick who he wants. So he'll probably endorse someone. 2025. 2K25. Yeah. The new one comes out the year, it's like a year. The new one probably comes out next month, honestly, if I had to guess. 2K, or maybe it comes out in probably September. That's normally when they come out. Yeah. How can radical libs blame Republicans for their high crime cities when their own state government is deep blue? Right. Well, what they say is the crime is going down. That's what they say.
I just got home from Greenland. The only person who had a problem with me being from the US was an old Danish lady. She sarcastically apologized to me for living under Trump. Half.
Dude, you went to Greenland? They like it? They like Trump?
I told her I voted for Trump and she went on a TDS-fueled rant, culminating in her screaming at me, "You cannot have Greenland," completely unprompted.
That's gotta be a troll. That's gotta be a troll, man. You went to Greenland, you took a... I mean, you could go to Greenland easily from New Jersey. Yeah, the audio voice is getting better. The audio voice is getting a little bit better. I'm tired of reading super chats, but it's also better that they're more structured and they automatically play when somebody sends it in, so they don't have to worry about me waiting to read it. So it makes it better. It's not a troll. This conversation happened. Sounds fake, but it's real. Yes, I did go through New Jersey. No, I mean, the thing is you did tell me you were going there. You told me you were going there. I remember somebody saying they were going there, and that now that New Jersey offers direct to Nook. Let's link up at the Coke Zero 400. What the fuck is that? A NASCAR race? Coke Zero 400? Is it a Coca-Cola competition? How do you super chat $2 instead of $1.99? I think you got to go to custom, maybe. Newark Airport is disgusting. There are birds flying around Terminal C. Well, I can only imagine. There is a lot of bad airport infrastructure in the U.S. that needs to be upgraded. Some of these airports are... I mean, I used to go to airports more often. Some of the terminals are mazes. It's tough. The bigger ones... I remember I almost missed my flight. Dude, this was just a cruel joke in this terminal, because to get to some of the terminals, you have to take a tram. The tram wasn't working. People were like, what the fuck? I mean, we're going to miss the plane. The tram's not working. So we legitimately cannot get to the actual proper terminal. Okay. People were losing their shit. Could you do a shooting video? Yeah, that would be pretty badass. The billionaire class is fucking over all of us. Do you agree? It's very simplistic. I mean, the problem with people is they don't understand the output in terms of economics. There's a high output in what billionaires give in terms of the country. I mean, just in general, our standing relative to other countries, our living quality is significantly better than, especially when you're talking about the population, that we have higher populations. It's the best. It's the best out of any higher population country. And in terms of like, we're on average, we're way more wealthy than the European countries. Just look at the normal person in Europe versus a normal person here and what we can afford. Those people all live in like, they live in apartments. They live in very, very small homes. People are a lot richer in the United States on average. Why hasn't Trump done much to improve the country's declining birth rate? In Hungary, women with 2 or more children have no income taxes. Well, because what they've studied it's a cultural problem. You can incentivize it, but it's not going to do too much. It's more of a cultural issue. You know, there was an amazing statistic. It was people under the age 30 or under is what it was. The amount of people that own a home and are married. And right now it's 12%. In the 1970s, it was 50%. But I feel like that's such a good metric for society. 30 years or under, married, and own a home. And it's 12%. And it was like 35% even back in like 2001. Liberal organizers at the event are begging the woman to put this sign away. Getting a lot of play on TV, negative.
Thank you. Okay, apologies. Next speaker, please.
I mean, because you know how it reads. That's the thing. Thoughts on removing the upper left field seats from Camden Yards? Ever been to a game there? No, I never been to a game at Camden. Yeah, they need to do that 100%. I'm surprised they haven't done that already with Camden Yards. Yeah, they don't utilize those seats very much. Honestly, I would keep them just because I think when they remove them, it looks even worse. But, you know, they're going to want to utilize that area probably. It's terrible wording. Yeah, it's like a statement. It's the way she structured it. Oh, come on. Oh, I thought they were talking about Notre Dame joining a conference. This cat bought this cat sniped the coin, the Kanye coin. The Yeezy coin. Trump making an announcement tomorrow at noon. This is the no capital gains tax on crypto. This is a huge deal. Can't wait for Notre Dame versus Miami. I think Notre Dame will win. That's going to be a good game though. Good week 1 game. Yeah, this is Rubio's statement on pausing work visas Worker visas for commercial truck drivers. Litecoin. Litecoin is even calling out the Kanye coin. Easy money is more than a coin, it's an ecosystem. Come on, bruh. What even is this? Are you up to date on South Park's recent bullshit? What do you mean, including conservatives in their episodes? Or is it something else? Ecosystem. They're trying to make it utility. They're trying to not get sued, I think. So they say it's utility. It's terrible. You look at the website, it's hilarious. Yeah, here's the coin. Fully diluted, 836 market cap, 108. It's different because they've got a vesting schedule, so now it's not fully circulated yet. Oh man. Discourse. Neo-Nazi changes gender to serve sentence in women's prison. New gender law self-determination by the Green Liberal Party. The women's prisons are nicer. Yeah, I think this person might be a bot or something. I don't know. This person keeps writing essays in 3 minutes. There's an essay. I don't know why it didn't go off. Oh, because I don't have the name reader. Sarah, thank you for the $10. I've got the text to speech, but there has to be a message. Rapid is just gonna have the propaganda. I mean, I can go to it. This was yesterday already. Yeah, I already showed that. Pam Bondi talking about the 0 homicides. Woke Smithsonian I mean, this is... I want to see what this is. Do they have photos of this? Dude, come on.
Annie Sigara Ileni
It's loud as hell.
standing wearing t-shirt. Ambulatory wheelchair user. Annie embraces and educates on their identity, being Latinx.
What is this artwork? Are these on display? Woke slop. Woke liberal slop. Scott Bessent turns 60 years old. You were a fetus during 9/11? Yeah, I was a 1-year-old. I do like the text to speech. It makes it makes it more enjoyable. President makes an announcement in regards to cryptocurrency.
The A's handled the situation horribly, but let's be real, Oakland lost 3 teams in less than a decade. They're the common denominator. I wouldn't want to make a long-term investment in that city either.
Yeah. Well, if you're right, if you lose, I mean, especially the NFL team, and they couldn't build a new stadium. They couldn't get it done in either sport. And then what, they lose the Warriors, I guess? Yeah. I would have liked to seen the Raiders stay. I think with the Athletics, I mean, honestly, I would like to see the Athletics stay as well, just because I think Vegas is such a neutral city. Like, it's not a diehard sports city. But I mean, they couldn't get money for a new stadium, and they did have bad ownership for sure. Do you think your chat handle a female voice reading your super chats? I'm gonna try and find like a sexy female voice. Maybe like Elon Musk's AI agent or something. Cause right now I got this blind dude. The Oakland Coliseum was the worst ballpark you've ever been to. The whole place was covered in bird shit. Yeah, no, 100%. And they, in that Bay Area, they're gonna have a lot of that birds. But they didn't even clean that place, and a lot of it was tarped off anyways. The entire upper deck they closed pretty much throughout the entire seasons. Even the NFL, the Mount Davis, they would close because they couldn't get enough attendance, couldn't get enough demand for the games. Thoughts on MLB expansion? It's going to happen for sure, but it's going to take time. They're definitely going to go to 32, and then they're going to probably realign the divisions, they said. So I really hope they don't do that. I think it would like imagine the Yankees and Mets in the same division. That would be so bad. It's going to be a peace deal. I don't know. I feel like we would hear more of a rumor mill if it's a peace deal. Maybe there are rumors for a peace deal. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that though. Polymarket Sports. Portland better not get an MLB team. They're a soccer town. Yeah, soccer is big there. They've got a really interesting little stadium there. But I don't think Portland will get an MLB team. I'd be surprised. I mean, they have a chance though. You're showering? Well, thanks for the update. How are you? You're showering? You're messaging that from the shower? Check cat turd. The boomer final boss. The boomer final boss. The boomer wars. Cat turd. It's funny how the American Eagle, Sydney Sweeney ad just fell out of the news cycle. Liberals were temporarily outraged. Yeah, I mean, but that's just what happens with the news cycle. I mean, people were talking about the Epstein stuff falling out. It doesn't have a big shelf life. If it's not crazy news or if it's not an ongoing situation, it's going to fall out for sure. You're showering too. There's a lot of people showering tonight. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. This dude keeps commenting stuff. Statistics, damn statistics, and just old plain fucking lies. Bro, you've been saying some stuff. I don't know. You're having a conversation with yourself. You're having this has not happened to me before. This has gone on for like an hour. I think I've seen all of the I guess not mainstream, all of the internet mainstream conservative news slop tonight. You want me to go to someone else? It's like...
Sean, it's been real in New Jersey. I will tell you this. Number one, I was the nominee to become the U.S. attorney. And Cory Booker and Andy Kim, who I have never to this day spoken to in my life, despite my attempts to meet them, have truly, truly done us a disservice. And frankly, same with Senator Grassley, by holding up a traditional blue slip, not a law, and not allowing a lot of the president's picks to go through and be voted on by Senate. I didn't even get to that point. Then fast forward, it goes to the judges. 17 federal judges in the state of New Jersey, 15 of which are Obama and Biden appointed, that just like, frankly, we saw with Tish James, tried to use their seat for political motivation. I am the pick of the president. I am the pick of Pam Bondi, our attorney general, and I will serve this country like I have for the last several years in any capacity. You might try and change.
Yeah, did you see that with Andrew Tate? That's when it was like, come on. She was like simping for Andrew Tate, and there was a whole big thing about, you know, Tate and what his charges were. He's been charged with for like sexual assault against women, and she had to apologize. Putting the National Guard in D.C. for 30 days, which they say will be limited by... You said that they can put an extension on it, you know that. Clearly a social media stunt. Yeah, what if they extend the stay? They could extend it. But it's not a long-term solution. But we can't give you a long-term solution because the liberal... The thing, it might be... Well, you could say that, but it could be a pressure tactic. Imagine the people like this and they say, we like law and order, we like that there's more police. And then even the liberal government is forced to, by the people, put in more police presence. So it could be a pressure tactic by Trump. Your date ghosted you. You're drinking and playing video games. Well, man, that's unfortunate if that happens. Yeah, we've all been there. Yeah, Clyde is neutered. He got neutered when he was a kitten, or he got neutered a while ago. It's not gonna rate. It's not gonna. No, I gotta change it to $1.99. I'll change it after the stream. Trump isn't just the boomer, he's the boomer. He's the boomer final boss. Just look at him. Just look at him. Drinking, playing video games is an odd combination. Not if you don't get drunk, it's pretty normal. Depends on the competitiveness of the video game. If it's a simulator. How's the boomer meme coin doing? I don't think it's doing much on base. Yeah, I know that coin. I think it's probably around 3 million market cap. Still remember the story you did of your Tinder date where you got semi-catfished and went and looked at Christmas lights? Yeah, well, it was interesting when that happened because the girl, I mean, she was like, she maybe was a 6 on a good day, and it's like, well, yeah, she's about a 6 on a good day from her photos, and I got like, and I landed like a 4 IRL. So it was a tough adjustment. It was a tough adjustment to see something like that happen when you're going out for a date and you got to pick the girl up. It's a tough situation. Nah, she wasn't that chunky. It wasn't about that. It was just a structural. Yeah, that's the thing you got to realize with the photos with these women. I mean, you change just a minute thing, and their whole look changes, and you don't really realize that until you get older with women. And it's not even well, it is about makeup, but they'll also change the way their features look as well. On their face, I'm talking about, not just like their boobs or whatever, but make themselves skinnier. That's another thing you need when make sure you get some full body shots, because with some of these women, you'll be in for a surprise. You need to see, because they'll just show face and you only counted one girl ever that was better looking than her pictures. Yeah, because number one, your pictures, you're already posing to try and look attractive, especially with something like that where you're picking your best photos. And then number two, they'll edit them 100%. But even if they don't, they're already posing in certain ways to. I mean, you can pose to make yourself look better. I've shown up and the lady had 100 pounds on me. That's chalked, bro. That's cooked. This is the first time you've been back on this channel in a month. First thing I hear you all talking about is women. Well, it is later in the stream. It's later in the stream. I mean, listen, I looked over the new slop. What do you want from me? Best way to meet a girl is in college. Well, I think it depends. I mean, that would be, I guess, an ideal spot. I think that's where most relationships, if they're not online, that's probably where most relationships come from. Remember the height filter Tinder was talking about implementing? Yeah, 100%. Of course they're going to implement that. Women are obsessed with the height shit. And I understand the dynamic. You know, you want to be taller than the girl for sure. Iowa State versus Kansas State. That'll be a good game. That'll be a really good game. I think Kansas State wins. Reddit or TikTok, which is worse? Probably TikTok, honestly. Well, Reddit, I don't use TikTok. That's the thing. But I watch YouTube Shorts. It's basically the same thing as TikTok. But Reddit is brutal. It depends what subreddits you're on, though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a Sears we had an entire Sears it was like an outlet, or it was a standalone store, and it closed like 10 years ago. It's been abandoned ever since. Now they're replacing it with something, I don't know exactly what. You followed Short Guy's subreddit for a while. I mean, how short, to be in that subreddit, you're probably looking at 5354, I'd say. Realistic, I guess up to like 56, 57. That's a tough one. You're 5'7". Yeah, that's like fringe. That's like fringe. Depends on how. I mean, you get like you get some platform shoes or something. But then that just makes you look worse because then you're trying to hide it. Makes you look weaker, I guess. It's what DeSantis did. No, I don't really listen to Rogan anymore. Your 5'6" being short is better than tall, especially for planes. And yeah, but that's like cope 5'6". Yeah, I'm 5'9" barefoot. Basically, is what it is. That's legitimate. 5'7" is kind of a weird gray area. Tall guys consider you short, but otherwise you don't. Well, 5'7" in another country you'd be fine. The United States you are shorter though, but it's not catastrophic. 5'7" is not catastrophic. It's tough. You know, when you get to 5'9", 5'10", it's just tough because you want to be the 6 foot 6'1", but it's fine. 5'7" is like fringe. It's probably tough, but there are a lot of girls that are 5'2", 5'3". You'll be fine if you get like a girl that's 5'2", 5'3". You think either 5'8" or 5'9" is average height for an American man? I think it's 5'8", honestly. But it's definitely taller than other countries. Other countries it's shorter. Some countries it's taller, but most are shorter. Y'all complaining about being 5'7". You're 5'3.5". You don't feel small till you go around tall people, then you feel like a kid. Yeah, 5'3" is a tough one. 5'3" is definitely a tough one. You're 5'10" barefoot. Yeah, I'm 5'9" barefoot. Go to Atlanta. Yeah, in the Asian countries, they're all very short in comparison. 5'2" chicks want 6'2" chads. They all want taller guys. They all want 6 foot guys. But you know, some of that is blackpilling. I mean, but a lot of them do. Netherlands on average is 6'1". Yeah, well, they've also got a much smaller population, and they don't take. You know, we take a fuck ton of immigrants in this country, so it's going to skew it a little bit. South America, everyone is short, like 5'5" or shorter. It's gonna sound gay, but anyone can find true love no matter what your height is. No, it is true. There is someone for everyone. That is, well, maybe to a certain extent, depending on if you can find a person. But yeah, that is relatively true. But a lot of it is a standards issue with people. They want to punch up. Only 14.5% of men in the US are 6 foot or taller. Just shows you how unrealistic their standards are. Yeah, I think the 6 foot thing is kind of like, it's more of like a dream for a lot of these women, but they do it in part to, like, it's like to get one up on men because you know, so few men actually meet the 6 foot stuff. But I don't know, man. It's height. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, it is certainly. I think it's a dynamic in a relationship for sure. But again, that's like apples to oranges. You're talking height versus weight because weight obviously is controllable. so hard to immigrate to the U.S. from the liberal cesspool Canada. I've heard legal immigration is ridiculously challenging, 100%. A lot of people come in, they come in illegally on temporary visas with some type of fucking protection. If you're immigrating from a white country, it's very challenging to legally immigrate to the U.S. That's true. I've heard that from so many people. There's many different steps involved. But we've taken more immigrants than any other country by like 40 million since 1970. Hard to find a woman that doesn't party, drink, smoke. Yeah, dude, any of that, like, that's so unattractive. Girls that party, it's very unattractive. Thoughts on Dr. Phil? Well, Dr. Phil made a conservative turn. I saw that. So I haven't really seen what Dr. Phil's been doing recently, but I know he was out with Kristi Noem arresting people, and he was part of that. You want a Caroline Levitt? I know she's a boss bitch. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's right. He did a ride along with Homan. And then they questioned him about it. I remember some liberals were like, how can you say that you're trying to help people? You're tearing families apart. Yeah, that's what they always go to with the deportations. Who would win between Dr. Phil and Stephen A? What are we talking about here? Dude, honestly, I should have had that text-to-speech on so much sooner. I don't know why I didn't turn that thing on sooner in my streaming career. But Dr. Phil and Stephen A, I don't know, man. In an election, probably Dr. Phil. You got a friend who's 16 and he's 4'11"? Holy hell. The dude's 4'11" at 16. Yeah, you're pretty much done growing. You might grow a little bit more, but at 16, I think you're almost done growing. You might grow a little bit more to 18, maybe. I grew mostly when I was, I don't even fucking remember. Maybe when I was 16 or 17 or 15, something like that. Maybe when I was 14. All Western women are boss bitches. No, that's not true. I mean, a lot of them are because they all go to college. So it's kind of like, and the thing is, they go to college and then they feel like, well, I have a degree, and like 95% of them, they fucking have to be in debt. I mean, look at the college debt, women versus men. It's not even close. Women have way more debt than men in colleges, so they're gonna be latched with debt. So they're like, well, you get all this debt, you have to work because you have the degree. But so many of them have degrees now. Degrees are really not impressive. And a lot of them can't find work, or it's entry level bullshit. You're getting paid $30,000 or $40,000 a year. It's a terrible proposition, but they all do it. Your mom's about 5'1", your dad's about 5'7". Yeah. You as a dude, you should be taller than what you are if those are the heights of your parents. I mean, it doesn't always align like that, but your dad claims he grew a couple inches in college. What, at like age 19 or 20? I mean, honestly, I think I've heard, I don't know about college. I think high school kids will grow for sure. drink raw milk and eat steak, you can. I don't think that has any impact, man. I think the growth is just based on genetic, what you were genetically inclined to be, your genetic disposition.
Mega forever crush th say il egls and street sh tear. USA emoji.
Oh man. Crush these illegals and street shitters. Sean, I appreciate it. The return of the whale. Work the fuck out. I mean, I used to work out. I used to work out when I was younger. There was something on it. I used to be in really good shape in terms of endurance, being able to do the things like the Stairmaster or run. I'd have good endurance. You don't really want a bunch of girls, though. You just want to find a wife. And you've had girlfriends before, so as long as you can just find a Christian wife. Yeah, I mean, you could probably find one. It depends. You know, you're in a decently bigger city. Not you, the short guy. Yeah, I mean, that's something that you could do when you're short to try and make up for it is work out a ton. But it's still a challenge when you're that short. I mean, if you're 5'6", 5'7", you work out a lot, you can make up for it to a degree. You get down to that, it becomes a big challenge. I mean, even at 5'6", 5'7", it's a challenge. You ran a marathon this past January. Well, that's impressive, man. You got tendonitis. Running is tough, man. You put a lot of weight on your feet. A lot of weight on your ankles. You run for that long. You got to train for a ton for that. 26.2? 26.2 miles. Are you the shortest in chat? I mean, if you're, what are you, 5'3"? There's probably people shorter than 5'3". Or are you 4'11"? Height gives nothing, bro. Come on. Not. Certainly, it gives you an advantage. Let's be honest. 100%. I mean, sure, you could, even if you're shorter, you could find someone, but there's a lot more options. You're taller. CGI from Sharknado is bad. Should have used practical. Yeah, that movie is like a funny. It's just a fun. It's like the Troll movie. You ever see the Troll movie? The text to speech thing. It works for $2 and above. I think I could change it to any. I could change it to any. You're 5'3.5". Gotta remember the half. Almost 5'5". Yeah, with shoes. Sharknado, there's like 3 different ones. 3 or 4 different Sharknados now, I think. They made them. Remember the channel Chiller? Chiller, scary good. The channel never was HD. It was like a crappy horror movie channel. It was a good channel when I was younger. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. I appreciate the donations. I appreciate everyone for coming onto this stream. There are 6 Sharknado movies. Well, yeah, I lost count of them. Because I remember with Chiller, it was like 3 of them. They must be doing more. It's actually a little bit chilly in here. It's a nice change. It's like 60 degrees out. I guess it's a little bit chilly. I'll have to wear my my crow neck starting soon, maybe. Now it'll be a while, probably. Do a 24-hour stream. Dude, that would not go well. It'd be a waste. I would lose my... Actually, now as well, when I get more viewers, I should do it. Oh, you know that one movie? I saw a trailer for it. Now You See Me 3. And you know what, man? If you see the trailer for that, because I think the movies were really good, the magic tricks and Jesse Eisenberg, but there was something really sad about the new trailer. They looked too old. They waited too much. They waited for too much time to pass. Now You See Me. It's called Now You See Me, Now You Don't. So it's the 3rd rendition, but they've waited like 7 years. And this is like they look older, and it's like a heist movie, but it looks. But don't need creeps watching you sleep. Yeah, well, that's when they do their donations and stuff, and I would lose my sleep schedule for sure doing that. All right, I'll see you guys.